Good evening. How are you doing?
Good evening, teacher. Very well, thank you. And you?
I'm good as well. All right. Thank you so much. So please, we're gonna start the lesson, and I would like you to open your book on page number 6. Let's take up what we left off on the previous lesson. Okay. This is the page that you are watching at the screen. Number 6 from the student's book.
A student book?
Yes, please.
Habitual behavior? Yes, of
Yes, habitual
course.
behavior. Yeah, that is. But before jumping right in, I'm gonna show you some grammar explanation. And I would like you to take notes, and just in case you have any problem, something that is misunderstood, let me know, please, and I will be glad to help you with anything that you need. So let's go. We use this vocabulary. The present simple is used, as you know, for habitual actions or permanent situations in the present. For example, you can see here, yeah, we are in this part. I go for a run twice a week, and or she lives near the park. Yes, that is an action or a permanent situation. The next part. Frequency adverbs as well can be used to indicate how often an action occurs, and they are usually used or placed in this way. The first use is before the main verb, right? For example, I always go to bed before midnight. In this case, the main verb is go, right? Number two, after the verb to be or an auxiliary verb. For example, she is very often late to work. Yes, or they have rarely been seen together. In this case, is the present perfect. Number three, usually, normally, generally, frequently, sometimes, often, and occasionally can be also used or placed at the beginning of the sentence or the clause. For example, occasionally we go out for a meal, but usually we eat at home, right? And in some cases, always, never, rarely, seldom, and hardly ever cannot be used in the same way, as you can see there. Sometimes and quite, right, these two words not very often can be placed at the end of the sentence or the clause that we are talking about. For example, you say some very hurtful things sometimes, or I don't go to the cinema very often. So far, is there any question that you have?
Okay, and the exercise 4.
Yeah. What is not so clear in this part? The use of sometimes and quiet. Another one? This part? Is it's something clear about this part? Something that is not clear about this part? Are you there? Can you listen to me? My dear Sandra, can you listen to me? I cannot hear what you say. what happened. I don't know if it is I'm having trouble with my microphone or is yours. Sarah, please, can you tell me if you can listen to me?
Okay.
Yes? All right. Yeah. So did you say that you didn't understand something about this one? The exercise number 4. Yes or not?
Okay. I don't understand the question that you.
Okay, did you say that you didn't understand something about this part? The use of sometimes and quiet. This one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What is the part that you don't get it? Because in this part it says that sometimes and quiet, alright, or not very often, can be placed at the end of the sentence. Sometimes, alright? As you can see there in the examples. I don't go to the cinema very often. Or you say some very hurtful things sometimes. But either you can use it at the beginning as well.
Yes.
Alright, so let's go with the number 5. Adverb phrases such as the following: now and again, from time to time, twice a week, every day, are used or placed at the beginning or at the end of a clause or a sentence, but not between the subject and the verb. Not between, only at the beginning or at the end. For example, I see Paul at work every day, and from time to time we have lunch together. As you can see here, in the first clause it's at the beginning, and in the second one it's at the beginning, and the other one is at the end. Okay? That is the way that you can use these phrases. Now and again, from time to time, twice a week, every day. Let's go with the alternatives that we have here. The present continuous plus always is used to talk about things which occur frequently and that a speaker finds annoying. For example, he is always complaining about something. Yes? Or this is the better for he has always complaining about something, right? Or number 2, the adjectives can be used as an alternative to rarely, to normally, and not usually. For example, it is rare, it is normal, it is usual or unusual, or it is common or uncommon for him to eat meat. That is the way that we can use these adverbs. And then we have number 3 in this part. Yes, tend to. Tend to we use it plus the infinitive of the verbs and to make a general statement about the habitual actions and situations of groups of people or individuals. For example, British people tend to drink tea rather than coffee. Or I tend not to get up very early on Sundays. That is the way that you can use it. And we have number 4. The auxiliary verb will plus the infinitive is used to talk about habitual behavior. Frequency adverbs can also be added in this part. For example, she will sometimes spend the whole day reading. As you can see, the frequency adverb is just after the verb will, but before the main verb. She will sometimes spend the whole day reading. Number 5. We are in this part, just in case. Alright? So it is not like someone to do something, it's just to suggest that the way a person has behaved is not typical of their character. For example, the whole phrase is it's not like him or like her, whatever the subject, to forget. For example, I am surprised Graham didn't send me a card. It is not like him to forget my birthday. So it means that he doesn't usually forget it, right? But then let's go over the habitual behavior in the past. Yes, this is so important because the past simple is just for regular actions or habitual behavior in the past, often with a frequency verb, adverb. I hardly ever went away on a holiday when I was young. Yes, we use it like this. Or we have another alternative, which is used to, right, plus the infinitive, which are used to refer to past habits in situations which no longer occur, that they not happen anymore. So the frequency adverbs can be placed for emphasize in our place before used to, before. That is so important, so don't forget. For example, we used to have a cat, but he died last year. Or I always used to walk to work until I bought a car. That is the way that we use it. This is an important note because the negative in question forms go like this. I didn't used to like cheese, right? Or where did you see, where did you used to live, right? These are the ways that we can altern these kind of phrases. And we have that nobody just can use it to express the present habitual behavior. For example, I usually not used to play tennis twice a week. Yes, it means that you don't usually play tennis. And finally, we have good, the modal verb good, plus the infinitive is used to refer to past habits but not to past situations. For example, frequency adverbs are placed after good. So remember, after good. My father would often read to me when I was a young boy. Or a situation. I used to have a bicycle. And it's so important because the stative verbs, such as have, which denotes possession, be, live, like, believe, or think, which is have an opinion, understand, and know, are not used with would to refer the past habit. Yes, we don't use would with these stative verbs. And that is the whole explanation about this. And now it's time to practice all of this. So let's get back to the student's book. And let's go over the exercise number 1. You have to look at these two sentences that we have below. And you have to tell me if is the frequency adverb placed before or after the main verb and the auxiliary verb. Please. So the first sentence says, I will sometimes go for a run after I get up. Is it before or after the main verb?
It is before the main verb in the first one.
Yes. But after, yes, the auxiliary
After
verb,
is,
right?
yes.
The second one, I always get to the theater early, but I'm usually the first to arrive. We have two here, always and usually, right? So, in the first clause, is before or after the main verb or the auxiliary verb?
And the first one is before the main verb, and
Yeah.
in the second one is before is after
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 what?
the
The verb to be, right? After the verb
Yes.
to be. That is so important. Yes? Perfect. Let's go with the second one. We have here to read the sentence, and you have to tell me which sentence we have to cross out. Yes? And the adverbs that are used in the incorrect position. We have normally, always, sometimes, never. Two of them are wrong, are incorrect. What do you think are these two ones that are incorrect? Normally, I get out of bed around midday. Always I get out. Sometimes I get out, or never I get out. What do you think are those two adverbs that are in the incorrect position? Can you tell me? Normally, is it in the right position? Yes, right?
Yes.
Always, is it in the right position? Always I get. No, right? No, that is incorrect. Sometimes, is it placed in the right position?
Yes.
And never, is it placed right? Or is it wrong? We have here, those adverbs that are in the incorrect position are always and never, as you can see here. So
At the
normally,
beginning of the
yes, those are the adverbs that are incorrect. Now,
then
exercise number 3.
three. Yes, of course.
Yeah. Now, we have to read the sentence and we have to cross out again the incorrect option. Now, I am fully qualified and I tend to get, I used to get, or I usually get the advanced classes. What do you think is the one that is incorrect?
The number three.
You usually get, tend to get, or used to get. Yes, in the exercise number 3. We are in this part. What do you think is the option that is incorrect?
Mm,
I tend to
I
get,
never
I
spent.
used to get. Sorry.
I never spent more than 10 minutes doing my English homework. This is the number three.
Yes. No, we're in the exercise number 3. In this part that says read the sentence, it cross out the incorrect option. Because that part that you told me is in the exercise number 4. Later on, we're gonna go
Yeah.
over it. Okay? So we are in here. I'm gonna highlight it in yellow so that you can see. Okay? This part. It says, now I am fully qualified and I tend to get, I used to get, or I usually get the advanced classes. What do you think is the option that is incorrect in here? Tend to get, used to get, or usually get?
Tend to get.
Okay, so let's take a look at the right answer. The incorrect option is used to get. Why?
Used to get
Yes,
wrong.
because we use, the correct option would be we used to get. There is missing the letter D, used to get. That is why. Now it's time to go over exercise number 4. This time in this one, okay? You have to tell me which of the following sentences are grammatically incorrect. And you have to change the position of the adverbs if needed. Yes? Let's analyze one by one. Number 1, we are in here. I rarely go out on weekday evenings. Is it correct or not?
Correct?
Yes, it's right. It's correct. Number 2, I have usually my dinner in front of the television. This is incorrect, right? Because we have I usually have my dinner in front of the television. That is the right way. Okay? Number 3, never I spend more than 10 minutes doing my English homework. Is it correct or not?
Not correct.
What is the correct way?
I never spend.
Yes, I never spent. Yes, perfect. Number 4, someone is always telling me what to do and what not to do. It gets on my nerves. This one is right, correct, because we have always before the verb to be. Someone is always. Perfect. Number 5, hardly I ever play games on my phone. It hurts my eyes.
Incorrect.
Yes, the right option is,
I hardly ever.
yeah, hardly ever. Perfect. And number 6, finally. It is rare for me to go to bed before midnight, and quite often I will stay up until 2 in the morning. Is it
It's
right?
what? Correct.
Sorry?
Yes.
Yes, right?
It's
Perfect. There you are. Now it's time to practice some speaking. From these sentences from 1 to 6, you have to tell me whether or not the sentences in the exercise 4 are true for you. Alright? Tell me, please. What of those sentences are true for you? And why? Tell me about your habitual behavior using these ones. From 1 to 6, what sentences are true for you?
for example, I rarely go out on weekday evenings. This is
Yeah.
me.
Another one.
Another one that is true. I never spend more than 10 minutes doing my English homework.
Yes. All right. No more?
Someone is always telling me what to do or not to do. It gets on my nerves.
So you don't like that someone tell you what to do?
Yes.
Okay. It's very common for all of people, right? Okay, let's jump
Yes.
right in the exercise number 6. We're going to read the following sentence. Okay, sentences in here. Yes. And we have to decide or check if they are correct or not. As a child, I would tell everyone that when I grew up, I wanted to climb Everest. And I used to have a dog, and we'd go running together most mornings. And the questions are, can used to replace would before tell and go? Is it possible? Why or why not? Can we replace used to right? Can replace by would before tell or go in the sentence. Because it is as a child, this is a past habitual behavior. It means that as a child, you would tell, or I would tell everyone that when I grew up, I wanted to climb Everest. Is it possible to replace would by used to? For
Uh,
example, as a child, I used to tell.
yes, it's possible to
Yeah,
replace.
right. The next one. Can would replace used to before have in the next sentence? For example, can we say I would have a dog? And we'd go running together most mornings. In this case, it is not possible, right? Because have is an stative verb. That is why would cannot be replaced by used to, right? So the right sentence here is I used to have. Yo solía tener in Spanish, right? That is.
Because have is a state verb.
Yeah, it's a stative verb. And we can not use would with all of the stative verbs. Never, right? So don't forget that. Okay, we're gonna read the following paragraph, and you have to decide whether the underlined verbs can be used with both used to or good, or only used to, or neither used to nor good. Alright? So let's take a look at it. When my brother and I were little, my mom had an executive position in a pharmaceutical company. In this case, the verb have can be used with used to or good, or only with used to, or neither with used to or nor good. What do you think? My mom had an executive position in a pharmaceutical company. It is very obvious that we cannot use would, right? Because have, in this case, is in past, cannot be used with would because it's an stative verb. For example, can we say my
Mhm.
mom just to have? Is it possible to say
No,
that?
it's impossible. Yes.
Yes, right? That is. Continue. She often worked long hours and sometimes went away on business trips for 2 or 3 days at a time. Number two, worked. Can we say she often used to work or she often would work long hours?
Used to work.
Yes, used to work. And what about would work? She would work. Is it possible? Do you think it is possible to say, for example, she would worked long hours?
No, it is not possible.
Yeah, perfect. Number three. And sometimes she went away on business trips. We can say she used to went away or she would went away. Or
The
we can
second one.
the second one. For example, in this case, it could be sometimes she would go away on business trips, right? Yes, that is perfect. In this case, is would go. Remember that we use would, yes, the modal verb would, to talk about habitual situations in the past that were repeatedly done. Yes, for example, in this case, she go away on business trips 3 days at a time. It means that she did it this so many times repeatedly in the past. Okay, that is why we use would. So don't forget that. So let's keep going. Our dear old grand looked after us. And by the way, this is a phrasal verb. Do you know what it means to look after?
Look after it means um,
Look after is basically take after or to take care.
capture it
Sorry, to take
to
care.
be
To take care. Yes, to take care. Look after. Cuidar in Spanish, right? So our dear old grand looked after us on those occasions, but it wasn't the same as having a mom around. So in this case, the phrasal verb look after, we can say I used to look after, or he used to look after, or he would look after us.
he used to look
Yes,
after.
perfect. He used to look after. The next one, number 5. We didn't like her being away from home. We can say we used to like her being away from home, or we would like her being away from home.
The first one.
Yes, the first one. Perfect. Number 6. But we never once said anything. We can say we never used to say anything, or we never would say anything. What do you think here? Or we can use both.
The second one is possible.
Yes, we would said. We would say sorry, yeah. Yes, decíamos, right? A past habit. Because we always thought she was happy in her work. We can say because we always used to think, because we always would think. And as you probably can notice, think is an stative verb. It means that it cannot be used with would. We can say only I used to think. Alright? That is the correct way.
Okay, it is not possible to
Think
use
with would. Because think is an stative verb. Yes, we cannot say would think. Just
yes.
I used to think. Let's continue. Then, one day she announced she was giving up her job. Number 8. Announced. We can say she used to announce, or she would announce,
Used to announce.
or neither. Any of them.
Mm, any of them is
Yes,
possible.
any of them are possible. Neither used to nor good. Any of them. She was giving up her job to spend more time with her family. My brother and I were delighted. Number 9. We can say I used to be delighted, or I would be delighted, to refer to a past habit. Or any of them.
Any of them.
Yes, I were delighted. That's it. A number 10 finally. But I'm not sure about my mom. She often said afterwards. We have number 10, said. We can say she often used to say, or she often
No,
would say, or neither.
neither.
Neither, right? Yes, perfect. That is. So I want you to use this kind of phrases, these both, okay? Used to or good. Yes? Remember, Would, we use it to talk about things that happened in the past repeatedly. Would. And used to only for things that happen very, very, very not so frequently. All right? So you are going to use used to and would to tell me what kind of music or what type of music did you used to play or did you used to sing or listen to when you were younger? Tell me, please. You can use used to or good.
Used to.
Yes, but tell me, what kind of music did you used to play or to sing or to listen to when you were younger?
Okay. Yes, when I was a child or I was a teenager,
Yeah,
I used to listen English pop music.
yeah. But try to use used to or good. For example, uh, as I told you, would we can use it for repeatedly actions in the past. And you can say, for example, I would listen to rock music twice a week. Yeah, it means that you did it very frequently in repeated action in the past. Okay. The next question that you're going to tell me is why did you leave? No, I think it is not possible. Did have you ever left a job or there
No,
have you ever been in a job that you didn't like?
no, I didn't.
Yes. Okay. Can you tell me about your last jobs? If you've seen used to or would? Just a short experience.
Yes, I used to work like an English teacher in some high schools from the Ibarra city.
All right.
And I will work with a bachelor's students
Yes.
and with a bachelor's too. But now I work with a school in a school.
All right. There you are. Perfect. Thank you so much. Now let's go over. We're gonna learn some vocabulary related to clothes. Yes. We can see here the following vocabulary. Let's jump right to exercise number 2. We have to complete each blank with an adjective which is in the opposite of the one involved in the same sentence. I mean the antonym could be the opposite one. And we have baggy, brand new, casual, colorful, scruffy, and unfashionable. Yes? And we have 6 sentences. And what you have to do here is to help me out to fill in the gaps with those adjectives. Let's go with the first one. Number 1. Charlie bought a great second-hand designer sweatshirt in vintage gear. It looks what? It looks baggy, brand new, casual, colorful, scruffy, or unfashionable. What do you think is the adjective that best fits here?
Mm, Charlie is the letter A.
What is second hand? We have to fill in the gaps according to the words, the adjectives that are involved. Okay? And that is the opposite. What is second hand? For example, what is a second hand t-shirt? I guess that you know what is second hand, right?
Yes,
Yes. So what is the antonym of second hand?
the first hand,
Brand new.
the brand new. Yes,
Yes. This one. We have to use these ones, okay? These words, these adjectives that we have here. So it looks brand new. Haven't you got, number 2, haven't you got a more formal jacket? That one's a little too for the wedding. What is the opposite of formal?
a casual.
Casual, yes, for the wedding. Perfect. Number 3. My sister prefers tight-fitting tops and jeans, whereas I like everything to be really. What is the opposite of tight-fitting?
Mm,
Tight-fitting.
baggy. Baggy.
Yes, baggy. Perfect. Baggy clothes. Number 4. Clothes that are considered trendy and worn by everyone in 1 year are often. What is the opposite of trendy?
Unfashionable. Unfashionable.
Unfashionable. Yes, unfashionable. Number 5. She wore a plain dress to the awards ceremony. We expected to see her in something far more. What is the opposite of plain?
Scruffy. Scruffy.
Yeah, in this case is colorful.
Colorful.
Is the opposite of plain. Plain is something like is not that attractive, not engaging, and colorful is something that it's appealing, attractive. Yeah, that is. And finally, we have number 6. As a farmer, I don't have many smart clothes. Smart clothes refers to very formal clothes. Smart clothes. Alright? That is the meaning. And I spend most of my time in jeans in an old t-shirt as a farmer. So the opposite of smart clothes is scruffy.
Scruffy.
Scruffy. Yes. Very old clothes. Now you have to tell me, using these adjectives, what is the way that you use to wear, to practice a little bit of, so that you can put into practice these adjectives that we have learned right now. Tell me about you. Using these adjectives, what is the way that you wear? Colorful, brand new, scruffy, casual, formal, smart clothes, trendy, tight-fitting. Tell me.
Okay. When I was young, I used to wear colorful clothes. But now, in my job, for example, I used to casual clothes, and but not with not about baggy clothes.
Yeah. What did you like the most? Formal clothes or casual clothes?
For example, if I am at home, I am not with formal clothes.
Yes. Of course, yeah,
I-
because at home we have to be
Yes,
comfortable.
yes, comfortable, yes, and relaxed. Then, just only when I go to my job, I use the formal clothes.
Yes, that is. Have you ever bought second-hand clothes?
Yeah. No,
Never ever.
maybe sometimes, for example, a bag, something like that.
Yeah. All right. There you are.
Now,
Okay.
it's,
Thank
trendy.
you so much. Trendy clothes. Okay.
Mhm.
Yes. So now let's go over some of the listening parts. This is the listening part 3, the multiple matching. Yes, of the bit first exam. So in this part you will hear an audio with 5 short extracts. Okay? The speaker 1, speaker 2, 3, 4, and 5. And what you have to do here is only to write in here, in this part, in the box, the letter according to the audio. For example, if the statement or the sentence letter V is mentioned by the speaker 2, you have to write it next to the box. Okay? And I'm gonna play the audio and you have to listen. You're going to listen twice. Okay? So get ready.
Okay.
You will hear 5 short extracts in which people are talking about the clothes they wear. For questions 1 to 5, choose from the list, A to H, what each speaker says. Use the letters only once. There are 3 extra letters which you do not need to use. Speaker 1.
It's unusual for me to buy brand new clothes. I get most of what I wear from charity shops. Some people think that anyone who buys things that have already been worn by someone else can't really care much about clothes, but that's not true. You can find some pretty decent stuff in these places, even quite tasteful designer clothes that people, for whatever reason, have decided they don't want anymore. And they only sell clothes that are in good condition, often things that have only ever been worn once or twice. You get to support good causes too, of course, because the money you spend goes to charity.
Speaker 2.
Apparently dressing smartly is supposed to increase your self-confidence, but I've never felt any different in a jacket and tie. And anyway, I'm not the kind of person who spends time worrying about what to put on in the morning. Some people take ages umming and ahhing over what to wear, but I just throw on the first thing I find in my wardrobe and that's it, job done. To be honest, I'd be happy just wearing the same 2 or 3 t-shirts all the time. The trouble is, I only have time to do my washing once a week, so that wouldn't work. I may not be fashionable, but I'm not dirty.
Speaker 3.
I get suspicious when I go into a clothes shop and see that everything is incredibly cheap. If the prices are so low, then how much are the people who made them getting paid? And what are their working conditions like? I only buy from companies that sell ethical clothing made by people who earn a decent salary and work in a safe environment. I usually get that kind of information online. It's easy enough to find. The clothes may not be as cheap and there's not necessarily any more guarantee of quality, but at least I can be confident that no one is being exploited.
Speaker 4.
I spend a lot of money on clothes. I don't really care what they cost. They don't have to be designer clothes, but they do have to make me feel good about myself. I like to know that I can get something out of the wardrobe and any feelings of insecurity I have will just disappear as soon as I put it on. Then when I get to work and someone says, "Hey, that shirt really suits you," it gives me a big lift. And I never wear the same thing more than once in the same month. My colleagues have got used to seeing me in something different every day.
Speaker 5.
If I want to go out and get a new t-shirt, for example, then I always have to get rid of an old one first. And I only do that when I can't justify hanging on to it anymore, either because it's so scruffy I'm too embarrassed to wear it, or it's literally falling apart at the seams. That's why none of my clothes ever end up in a second-hand shop. I replace them precisely because they're no use to anyone, not just me. I've been doing this for some time now, and I've noticed that clothes used to last a lot longer. The quality's got gradually worse, and I have to replace things far more often than before.
You will hear 5 short extracts in which people are talking about the clothes they wear. For questions 1 to 5, choose from the list, A to H, what each speaker says. Use the letters only once. There are 3 extra letters which you do not need to use. Speaker 1.
It's unusual for me to buy brand new clothes. I get most of what I wear from charity shops. Some people think that anyone who buys things that have already been worn by someone else can't really care much about clothes, but that's not true. You can find some pretty decent stuff in these places, even quite tasteful designer clothes that people, for whatever reason, have decided they don't want anymore. And they only sell clothes that are in good condition, often things that have only ever been worn once or twice. You get to support good causes too, of course, because the money you spend goes to charity.
Speaker 2.
Apparently dressing smartly is supposed to increase your self-confidence, but I've never felt any different in a jacket and tie. And anyway, I'm not the kind of person who spends time worrying about what to put on in the morning. Some people take ages umming and ahhing over what to wear, but I just throw on the first thing I find in my wardrobe and that's it, job done. To be honest, I'd be happy just wearing the same 2 or 3 t-shirts all the time. The trouble is, I only have time to do my washing once a week, so that wouldn't work. I may not be fashionable, but I'm not dirty.
Speaker 3.
I get suspicious when I go into a clothes shop and see that everything is incredibly cheap. If the prices are so low, then how much are the people who made them getting paid? And what are their working conditions like? I only buy from companies that sell ethical clothing made by people who earn a decent salary and work in a safe environment. I usually get that kind of information online. It's easy enough to find. The clothes may not be as cheap, and there's not necessarily any more guarantee of quality, but at least I can be confident that no one is being exploited.
Speaker 4.
I spend a lot of money on clothes. I don't really care what they cost. They don't have to be designer clothes, but they do have to make me feel good about myself. I like to know that I can get something out of the wardrobe, and any feelings of insecurity I have will just disappear as soon as I put it on. Then when I get to work and someone says, "Hey, that shirt really suits you," it gives me a big lift. And I never wear the same thing more than once in the same month. My colleagues have got used to seeing me in something different every day.
Speaker 5.
If I want to go out and get a new t-shirt, for example, then I always have to get rid of an old one first. And I only do that when I can't justify hanging on to it anymore, either because it's so scruffy I'm too embarrassed to wear it, or it's literally falling apart at the seams. That's why none of my clothes ever end up in a second-hand shop. I replace them precisely because they're no use to anyone, not just me. I've been doing this for some time now, and I've noticed that clothes used to last a lot longer. The quality's got gradually worse, and I have to replace things far more often than before.
Okay, so let's check the answers, okay? Did you get
Okay.
something? It was difficult for you?
Um,
I guess that it was a little bit difficult, right?
Not very, very difficult, but I try to do.
Yes. So the answers are here. And then you have to tell me how many right answers did you get. Number 1 is letter E, the correct answer. Letter E.
A ver, one, letter E.
Yes. Number 2 is letter V.
E.
Number 3 is letter D. All right.
D.
Number 4 is H. And number 5 is F. And that's it. So tell me, how many right answers did you get out of 5? How many?
How many? Two. 2 from 5.
2 out of 5, okay? It's okay for being the first time. Yeah, as long as you keep on practicing, you are going to get better in this. So as you know, time is over. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and I'm gonna send you homework so that you can put into practice at home what we learn right now in today's lesson. So your homework is going to be pages from the workbook, this one that you can see here, pages number 6 and 7.
6 and 7.
Yes,
Okay, teacher.
yes, that is your homework. If you have any trouble or any problem doing the homework, let me know on Monday, okay? And that would be it. You can leave. I hope you have a good night and a nice weekend, and I'll see you in the next lesson.
Okay, teacher.
Bye bye. Thank
Goodbye.
you so much for being here.
De pronto, profe, y le quería pedir una situación. Aquí está mi hijo inscrito también en este curso, pero a lo mejor él no esté asistiendo porque tiene que prepararse para un examen muy fuerte.
Okay.
Entonces, sí, entonces yo creo que estos días no va a poder.
A ver, de todos
ingresar.
modos las clases van a estar grabadas en el canal que les pasé de YouTube, en nuestro canal, ¿sí? Ahí están, todas las clases van a estar. Él las puede revisar para que no se pierda ningún contenido.
Otra preguntita, profe. De pronto, ¿usted tiene otros horarios para así niveles menos que este? Porque este es fuerte.
Claro, este sí es un poquito complicado. Sí tenemos más o menos un nivel B1 sería.
Claro, porque yo pienso que, no sé, uno tiene que estar pero rápido, rápido, y es bastante vocabulario nuevo, sobre todo
Exacto.
para,
Es por
en
eso
el
que les
caso,
pedimos, siempre les pedimos al inicio la pruebita de ubicación que le hicimos para ver si tienen el nivel para estar en este curso. De lo contrario, se les asigna niveles más bajos, acorde al nivel que
es
tengan, ¿sí?
imposible el nivel un menos, porque yo aquí es fuertecito, es esto. ¿Para qué
Claro,
también?
sí.
Oh,
Entonces, sí.
profe.
Pero eso yo no lo manejo los horarios, ¿sí? Lo maneja coordinación académica. Entonces, no sé si tal vez usted tiene el contacto de el licenciado José Nasser.
Ah, sí, 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 sí,
Ya,
tengo
con
de
él,
él.
por favor. Sí, entonces a él le comenta la situación de su hijo y todos los horarios, y luego él me asigna a mí o a otro docente, puede ser.
Claro, claro. Bueno,
Exacto.
eso,
Sí, tenemos
ya
horarios de
listo.
todas las semanas, tenemos. Perdón, todos los
Ah,
días de la semana. Sí.
bueno,
Entonces,
listo,
coméntele
profe.
la situación y organizamos otro horario para ¿qué edad tiene?
Claro. Él tiene 26 años, pero no, yo le veo que no tiene así el nivel. Es
Ya.
complicado,
Claro, es que sí. Sí, o sea, B2 es B2, o sea, B2 es fuerte ya.
claro.
Listo,
Yo,
entonces, coméntele la situación y con gusto le ayudamos al licenciado José Nace, ¿sí?
listo. Muchas
Listo.
gracias.
Bye
Buen
bye.
fin de semana. Hasta luego.
Thank you so
Bye, bye.
much.